Very important to not text and drive, and it's also important not to drink and drive as we head into prom season here coming up. There's going to be a lot of kids on the road. You're going to have a lot of kids in your cars. We've done distracted driving demonstrations before. We've had our Just Let It Ring presentation, but we want to remind you as the parents to make sure that your kids are not texting and driving. Trooper Mike Kindheart joins me. He is here with the Illinois State Police. He has a setup right here that has a golf cart with it and some cones. Trooper, why don't you come on over here? Let's talk about how dangerous it is to text and drive.
Texting and driving, distracted driving in general, has become a huge epidemic. Getting there to take over, even driving under the influence. We all know that you're 80% more likely to rear end a car ahead of you while texting and driving than you are to be under the influence of alcohol.
Do you see a lot of teens texting and driving?
We see almost everyone texting and driving, and unfortunately it's something that has become worldwide. And with technology doing what it's doing today, it's different than driving under the influence, because driving under the influence is something you usually see of an evening or on weekend nights and things like that. Texting and driving you can see at any time in the day.
What is one message that you guys try and get out to teens as they start to get their driver's license?
Well, most definitely. At 16 years of age, we know that until 19 years of age, they have no electronic devices in the car at all. And I think it's a real big favor for parents to really talk to the teens and let them know that any type of distracted driving, not just texting and driving, is a problem. Put the phone down. It can wait.
Do you see a lot of parents abiding by these rules, or do you see just mostly teens?
We're seeing everyone, not just the teens. It's the adults and the teens alike. You can sit in a school zone and watch parents still texting and talking on a cell phone in a school zone, a construction zone, and again, it has just become a huge epidemic that's getting worse and worse.
Now, the law passed last January of 2011. Have you seen a decrease in texting and driving or an increase?
I think we're seeing a steady increase of the texting and driving, because teens are the same as what adults are, and adults are even saying that it'll never happen to me, but yet that one time. And the one message that I think we try to present and try to promote to them is, it's not if it happens, it's when. Because even as adults, we've seen the time that we've reached to the passenger seat, reached on the floorboard to pick something up, looked back up and said, oh, that was a close call. So we've all been in that situation. It's not a matter of if it happens to me, it's when.
And it's not just texting and driving. If you're stopped at a stoplight or stopped at a stop sign, you should not text and drive then as well.
That is the, I guess, unforeseen, that people think that when they come to a stoplight, I'm sitting, I'm stopped, you're not in park, you're not off of the side of the road. So sitting at a stoplight is not legal for you to still text and drive at that time. And we've all had that opportunity sitting at a stoplight, the car in front of you, the light turns green, the car doesn't move, you know exactly what they're doing.
All right, we have a golf cart here, we've got some cones. We're gonna finish setting this up, and we're gonna come back and do this here in the next half hour. Guys.
Well, we all know the importance of paying attention while driving.
But even while walking.
Lindsay Boach has seen some videos of some people. She wants to share that with you this morning, and she has some important information to pass along that could be life-saving as well. Lindsay?
Good morning. Yeah, we've all seen the videos of people walking into fountains while they're texting, bumping into people, but check this video out. This comes out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. There was a distracted walking line painted on the sidewalk across the street from Philadelphia City Hall. The lines are painted, and they're kind of an ironic way pointing out the dangers of texting while walking. People were walking out of the lines while texting. The joke went right over their heads or under their feet of people walking through the lane until it was explained to them. It was, though, an April Fool's joke that the mayor sent out a press release, and even some media outlets were faked out and they reported the story as fact. The joke signs will stay up for the rest of the week. So it's kind of a joke, but it's a serious subject. We're talking about distracted driving this morning because prom season is coming up. Parents, you want to make sure that you enforce that into your kids' heads before they drive anywhere, not only just for prom, but during prom they're going to have a lot of kids in their car, and it's very important to keep all of them safe. Illinois State Trooper Mike Kindheart is here with us this morning. Explain a little bit about what I'm going to be doing with this golf cart and the cones.
What we've done is set up just an obstacle course to be able to drive, and you're going to zigzag in and out of the cones all the way down and all the way back. We know that speed makes a difference, but when we go throwing in the texting and the distracted driving later on, I think you'll see a huge difference in why people get so upset when you're following someone on the roadway that's texting and driving, that's not paying attention and focusing on the task at hand.
Yeah, and it's really obvious to see when somebody is texting and driving. Not only do they have the phones up, but going very slow. I'm going to put the microphone down. What we're we're going to do is we're going to take this golf cart down there without any distractions. We're going to time it, and then the next half hour we're going to see how long it takes to go through with a cell phone in hand. So here we go.
All right, so Lindsay's taken the mic and proverbially handed it to us.
Okay.
Since she can't talk, so we get to commentate
I'm
here.
glad she's wearing that white hood. We can see her. We can see her really well.
And
Here
of
we
course,
go.
Trooper Kindheart's thing.
Yep.
Now this, of course, is undistracted driving. She's already hit a cone.
Maybe we should
by
have
the
Trooper
way.
Kindheart drive the golf cart even without her being distracted. She's doing pretty good now, though.
Well, she should, because this is undistracted driving. And like Trooper Kindheart said, speed plays a role into this. They're going very slowly in a golf cart here. A car is going to go much faster than a golf cart, and it also weighs a lot more than a golf cart, which just creates that dangerous situation. So now she's making the turn, weaving back in and through, back through the cones. Now, just in case you missed it, in the next half hour, she's going to have a cell phone in hand and do this exact same course, only she'll be texting while she goes. So there, she's made it all the way through. We'll see what time it took her to go in and out of these cones, and go with that again as well.
Oh, he just had her timed.
All right, so here we go.
Just get the thumbs up. We'll see what time she has.
33 seconds.
Wow.
33.
So
That's
it took
pretty quick.
33 seconds to go all the way down and then come all the way back. I have a feeling it's going to take a lot longer to do it with a phone in my hand trying to text.
And you do know you hit the first cone, right?
I know, I ran over the back of it, and then I think I hit that second cone on the way back too. It's really hard to drive this thing. It's not like a regular car. I don't drive one of these every day, so I'm not exactly sure how hard to push on the gas or anything. So give me a little slack.
I thought you did really well, Lindsay.
Oh, thanks, Hannah.
I'll give you slack.
Yeah, she's
The
famous
thumbs
for,
up.
Yeah, famous for the thumbs up. So thumbs up, Lindsay.
Thanks.
People still text and drive.
Scares me when I'm in a bigger city and I see it. I mean, it scares me anytime I see it.
It
But
scares me anytime, especially if you see somebody coming over that center line when you're on the highway, and the first thing I think of, oh, I wonder if they're texting and driving.
yes. Now, it's important for everyone not to do, but parents pay particular attention because it is prom season, and you want to pass the message on to your kids how dangerous this can be. Lindsay Boach joins us now live to show us how dangerous texting and driving is.
Yes, it is, and it's always scary to see that person cross over that line, because the first thing that I do is I always look and see if they're texting and driving. And a lot of the times, you know, since that law passed, people are bringing their phones down, so they're looking down and totally taking their eyes off of the road. So I have my phone. We have a golf cart from the Illinois State Police. We have Trooper Mike Kindheart here. Explain, first of all, I mean, people know how dangerous it is to text and drive, but why is it so important?
Because we need to focus on the task at hand. You're driving an 8,000-pound vehicle, which is a weapon to kill you. It's just like playing Russian roulette. And if we don't start getting in the vehicle and focusing on getting to our destination safely, we have major problems.
Right, and especially with prom season coming up, there's going to be a lot of kids in cars with you and on the road. So I'm going to put the microphone down here. We have our course that we did without texting and driving. It took me 33 seconds. We're going to time it again, and I'm going to send Chad a text message. So Chad, have your phone out. Here we go.
Go through this. She just said it took her 33 seconds to do this without a cell phone.
And
in
Lindsay,
hand.
I will say, is a really good texter. I mean, this girl can text like nobody's business. So it'll be a true testament of really how a good texter texts while driving, because you kind of have a mix of people on the road. You have the older generations aren't as good of texters, but they're better drivers. And then you have the younger generation who seems to be better texters, but not so good at drivers.
There goes a pylon she hit, or a cone. One thing I'll point out from what we saw earlier when it took her 33 seconds, it seems like she's going very slowly through these cones.
Yeah,
Like
and
she
to come
hasn't
around
even
the
made
corner.
there.
Here she comes.
Here she comes. Now she's texting. Okay, good. She didn't take out
Trooper
the camera.
Kindheart is holding on to that handle for dear life.
You know, Trooper Kindheart does these kind of demonstrations all over the place. There goes
Another
another cone, which could be a car, could be a child, an animal. Thankfully, it's just a cone. But he does these demonstrations, and I've talked to him several times at these demonstrations, and he gets a nice wild ride out of these sometimes. So he should be used to this.
I'm actually pretty impressed.
She did 2 or 3 cones. Now,
Did she send it?
she hasn't sent it yet because I haven't gotten it, but I was going to read to you what she wrote.
It's sent. 56 seconds.
56
so
seconds.
almost double.
23 extra seconds.
And I'm still waiting on your text to arrive, so it is going as slowly as your driving was there.
I can tell you that it's not what I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah, I'll give you 3 more seconds, Chad, until you get it.
Okay. And then what?
I'll read it.
Okay.
Okay, it was supposed to say, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, how many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick?
Wow.
I don't know if you can see this. It says, oops, Peter Porpert picked a prick of picketed peppers. Off Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled prepit. I think that's when I hit the cone. How many picketed peppers did Peter Porpert pick?
God bless
Nice.
you.
And yes, we love autocorrect. I do have a question, Lindsay, because
Yeah.
you mentioned, I think that's when I hit the cone. What did you do when you hit the cone? Because you obviously felt it.
Oops.
But you looked up and...
If you're in a situation in a car, you're obviously not going to say oops, because that could be somebody else's life.
Right.
But yeah, I slowed down a little bit and I felt it go over, and that's why you shouldn't text and drive. And I will say that autocorrect, I'm pretty sure, helped me out on a lot of that.
Sure. And like you said, or like I said, the cone could have been another car, a person, or an animal. This was just
Right.
a cone, and you were going, I don't know, 4 miles an hour. You weren't going 65 down the road.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Right.
Well, Lindsay,
So
thanks so
very
much.
dangerous stuff. Make sure you're not texting and driving, not only during prom season, but all year long.
Exactly.
All right. Thanks, Lindsay.